Hi there, today I'm at Fenny Compton. This is Fenny Marina, and they have diesel at 82p a litre for domestic and £1.30 odd for propulsion. That's quite reasonable. And very good services here. They've got a little chandlery, loads of bits and pieces. Very handy to come here if you need something. And if you need to moor here, they can usually fit you in as well if you've got a reasonably small boat. Right, that's Fenny Marina, as I told you before. And yeah, diesel filled up there. You've got diesel, gas, chandlery, ice creams and mooring if you need it. They'll also let you enter your L-sand for £2, I think it was last time I did, and the pump out's a bit more expensive. Right, so we're now heading back into Fenny where I moored last night, and hopefully there's a water point down by the pub, which is the wharf inn. The shop there, I was very disappointed with. It wasn't anywhere near as good as I remember it from last year, and I've just been down to the co-op this morning in the village, which is about a mile away from the moorings, and that has got a very good selection of food and very helpful staff. So that's your tip. If you need stuff, it's going to take you 20 minutes to walk down there, but it's well worth it in terms of the fact that you can get pretty much anything you'd need in a local supermarket. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Got Nicola and Thomas on board. And we're just leaving Fenny Compton and heading up, hopefully going to get over Napton flight today. That's optimistic, but we might do it. There's a lot of other boats in front of us as well. Right, for a couple of miles outside of Fenny Compton, it's very wooded and you can't really see anything over the trees. But now we're out into the fields and the woods have melted away, and you can see the rolling English countryside again, just through this gap in the hedge here, hopefully. There you go. And the fields are being harvested very soon, I should think. There's a field of grass by the look. No, I don't know what crop that is. Can you see the ripples through the field there? That's beautiful. And on the other side, we've got a field of wheat that is pretty close to being ready for harvesting behind us. On the right here, if you can hear me over the wind, there's a massive construction site. They've dug a great big ditch around this field. And on the top of the hill there are a lot of diggers. I don't know what's going on, but I doubt it will look like this next year. It'll probably have some building on it. Slow going above Fenny Compton, but we're getting there. We're just about to get into the section that heads north and in towards the Napton flight. And we're aiming for the Folly pub for lunch, which is a lovely spot to have lunch. Well recommend it, good food and a very interesting pub as well. Right, it's right. Keep it right. That'll do. Get her in the middle. Do you see how slowly it reacts to the steering?
Yeah.
That's good. Slinket it's called. Here's one marker for your passageway on this canal. We are passing the village of Priors Hardwick, and that's hill farm camping or glamping, so you can hire that, I think. You can see that the banks are in a terrible state here. There's maybe been a breach there, and the ground is lower on either side of the boat, so we're on an embankment above the ground either side of us. An idyllic rural scene. Of course, we're not in Oxfordshire anymore, we're now in Warwickshire. Just coming up on the right here is a very good landmark. We're just coming up to the Napton Top Lock fairly soon, not quite there yet. And this is where someone's cut a hole into a field to put their boat in and then closed it off. So they live on this boat in a little puddle that's not connected to the canal. And fair play to them if it's their field. They're allowed to do that. It's one way of having a free mooring. In the distance you can see an engine house, and that was the engine, probably the engine that pumped the water to keep the canal summit full. That's an old canal arm went along there, past the engine house as well. Don't know what that was for, but there you have it, the engine house. So as you approach the engine house, you're now coming to Napton Top Lock, which is the beginning, if you're going this way, of the Napton flight, and about an hour and a half's hard work before you get to the pub at the bottom, the Folly. Someone's living in the engine house. All these lovely old vintage cars, and they do current historic racing, Formula Junior and historic saloon racing. That's their transporter over there. It's alright, that's fine. You don't need to close it all the way. Wave at the camera, Thomas. So this is Lock 14, Napton Adkins Lock, and you can see the hill, as in Napton on the Hill,
Can't get it to go past this point.
which is in front of us in the distance, and that's where the village is. We've got a few more to go down before we get there. Thomas is having a bit of trouble with his lock gear. Bit hard, you're going down, you need to go the other way.
Oh, Mum
That's
told
it.
me to go anti-clockwise.
Clockwise to wind up that one, they're all different.
Oh,
There you go.
Daddy, you told me to go the wrong way.
They're all different. That's it, good man. Just keep your face away from the paddle, because if it slips, that would be bad. Right, I need to get back on now. Another nice view of Napton on the Hill. So we get ever closer to Napton, but we never actually go through Napton. We always go to the left of Napton. And there's a dead pylon in that field, slowly rusting away. And my crew's escaping. They're getting ahead of me here. There's a funny little cottage there and a pillbox right next to it. So here we finally have lock keepers giving us a hand, which is quite nice to see after all this time. We've gone down a whole load of locks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the 7th lock we've been through, and finally there are lock keepers on duty to give us a hand. It would be nice if they walked up and down the flight a bit sometimes as well, maybe. We're here at Napton Bottom Lock, and the lock keepers are very kindly helping us through. And this is the Canal and Rivers Trust building. They've actually still got a building here with some tools and kibs and what have you, and stoppage gates and all of that. So it's nice to see that there's still actually some CRT buildings that are owned by the CRT. Just on the left here is the Folly pub, and it's an absolutely brilliant place to get a meal, which is exactly what we're planning on doing, if we can find somewhere to moor up a bit below. These moorings can get quite busy, but you can usually find a place around the corner.